Happy Joyride Day, y'all. For the next 50 days, Ryan Trahan and his wife Haley are going to an Airbnb in each of the 50 states of America. I am joining in on the challenge, sort of, by reading one book that takes place in each state during the 50 days. And today, they threw a curveball, y'all. They straight threw a curveball. I thought after going to Nevada that they would be going to California. But this bro went to Utah. It's fine. I have a Utah book that I've already read, so we're covered. But then, looking at the map, now I have no idea where he's going. Yesterday, I started listening to an audiobook set in Alaska, and then today, bro's in Utah. So my concern for Wyoming became a fear. As soon as I saw that they were in Utah, I texted my mom. I was like, I need a Wyoming book, because if they go to Wyoming tomorrow, I don't think I can binge through the 216-page Wyoming book that I currently have. That was the only Wyoming book that I had available to read. She scoured. I scoured just a little bit, but I was also reading other stuff. Hang on, let me just... After searching, I actually found about 4 books that take place in Wyoming that I think I would really enjoy, but they were all ebooks, probably around 300 to 400 pages, in which case I might as well just read the 216-page physical book that I already have. But I needed something that would give me more likelihood of success. My mom, I don't know how. She said she was desperate in her searches, but she somehow found a 3.5-hour audiobook that takes place in Wyoming. So I started listening to that today, so that if Ryan and Haley go to Wyoming tomorrow, we're set, we're good, we're gonna make it, we're gonna be okay. Meanwhile, I also finished reading this library book that I got. It's a kid's book, the Imagination Station series. This is set in Missouri, so I'm actually not going to talk about what I thought of this book or what it's about until Ryan and Haley get to Missouri. But I did finish this today, so Missouri is set. We've got a freebie state lined out for the future, but today they went to Wyoming, or Utah. See, look, I'm like so focused on Wyoming today. Utah. They went to Utah. Utah is unlocked.
Yeah! That's actually crazy. We're making progress.
The book that I read set in Utah is actually part of a duology by Ted Dekker. We have 2 Ted Dekker books in a row for the States. Crazy. The duology was, I think I would say it was more of a fantasy than it was like a regular thriller. It's part of his Circle series. The reading order for the Circle series is all over the place, and a lot of people have different opinions on what order you should read the Circle books. I don't think that the Mystic duology that is set in Utah should be the first thing a person reads. My suggestion would be to read Black, Red, and White sometime before the duology. I won't go into the exact reading order that I would suggest for all of the Circle books. I'm just gonna say definitely read Black, Red, and White before the duology. A couple things I remember loving about the duology is, one, the main character is blind, which I think is so cool, and I love blind and deaf representatives in books, especially when they're in the main character slot. And I thought that Ted wrote her character so well. The other thing that I really liked about it was that it was set in the Circle universe. The Paradise trilogy that Ted has is also technically set in the Circle universe, but it doesn't have a lot of the fantasy elements in it. There are a few nods to characters or aspects of the Circle world that are in the Paradise trilogy, but it's not super prominent. I think the relative order that I read the books was Black, Red, and White, and the Paradise trilogy, and then the Mystics. So I had like this period of not really being in the Circle universe. So when I got back to the Circle world with the Mystics duology, I remember just feeling some nostalgia and just love for being back in that universe. And then lastly, the big thing that I remember about loving in the Mystics duology was that it fixed the Circle world ending in my mind. Not to go into spoilers, I'm not gonna go into spoilers. Basically, how the Circle books kind of go is like black, red, white, and then green. I didn't like green I usually just say go ahead and skip that one entirely. And the Mystic duology redoes Green anyway. And I think that it gives a much better ending and conclusion to all kinds of things. As far as the circle books are concerned, I always recommend black, red, white, skip green duology of the Mystics, and we're solid. If you like fantasy and some kind of thrilling aspects in there, I would highly recommend this duology, and it does take place in Utah for some of the time. I was gonna film in my library today, but Stardust got on my lap. I put up some of the books I'm currently reading over there. So it's not my library, but it's got some books. I also have more books up there. This isn't super important to the challenge, but because the Airbnb that Ryan and Haley stayed in today was Star Wars themed, I thought that I would talk about some Star Wars books just for a little bit. I thought it'd be kind of fun. Before this challenge started, I was actually in the middle of reading the novelization for Return of the Jedi. I haven't gone back to it since starting this challenge. Hallie and I are also watching the Clone Wars TV show for our first time. After we're done watching the Clone Wars, I want to give the Ahsoka book a try. After reading the novelization, there's a kid's book about Han and Leia that I want to read. And then there's also a Star Wars book at the library that I might want to try, and then maybe get into the Thrawn trilogy. I've heard some good things. We'll see. I'm so curious to know where Ryan and Haley are going next. If it's Wyoming, I'll just have to finish up the audiobook and I'll get to tell you guys about it. If it's to Colorado, we're gonna talk about more Ted Dekker books. Did you guys celebrate Joyride Day? I don't think selfies can be posted in the comments. But if you did post a selfie for Joyride Hour / Joyride Day, comment down below #JoyrideHour. Let me know if you guys are watching Ryan's series and what you're currently reading. And if you have ever read Ted Dekker's circle books, I'd love to chat books in the comments with you guys. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Ciao!